What's up, Vantage Clan? It's your boy T back in the building with another video. And as y'all see, y'all already know what time it is. Got my sister with me.
What's up?
And we here for another episode. Y'all should already know what this is. Today, we talking playoff weekend sports. So far there have been 5 games. 6 game gets played in like the next 30 minutes. I'm not gonna hold you, which is the Eagles and Buccaneers. No, I got my Eagles winning. There's no questions that I got my team winning over everybody. That's always how it's gonna be. We're gonna go through each one of these games. I did not watch the Browns game, but I did watch the Dolphins and Chiefs. I watched the Packers and Cowboys, Lions and Rams. And I caught the last half of the Steelers and Bills. But I did see a little bit of the first half where they were up 21-0. But let's talk first game first. First game of the weekend was the Browns and the Texans. Which is her team, the Browns. Honestly, I thought the defense would have showed up this game.
They did.
I did. I thought defense. I said it too. I always say this. If a team got a good defense, if that defense swarms, if it swarms early on and causes the offense to be everywhere, discombobulated and stuff like that, it'll be a long day for the offense to try to get rolling when defense steadily got their foot on their neck. But unfortunately,
no signs of defense.
And what's crazy, you would think with a rookie quarterback, it would be some type of game plan of let's get pressure on him, let's cause him to make the mistakes. Because that's what they usually do in the NFL. They usually do it in college too. If this is a freshman quarterback, if this is a rookie quarterback, let's put some pressure on him. Let's, you know what I'm saying, make him feel the heat and let him cause a mistake himself. We ain't got to overly do it. Let's just bring it enough so that he does make that mistake. Good game from Joe Flacco. He threw for over 300 yards. You know, the two interceptions back to back is what I want to say is what cost them the game, but it put it further out of reach. Looking at the box score, they didn't score at all in the second half, which is you would never think as a football team
you would get shut out.
You would only have points in the first half. I played football before, and getting shut out by a team in all 4 quarters is way more likely than shutting down the team in just a half, especially the second half, because you would think the second half, let's come out game 0-0, let's get the upper hand on them. Let's knock them back a little bit and let's bring ourselves back into this game. You would think that, but don't get me wrong. Joe Flacco, even though he is as old as he is, he still got it in him. I just feel like, and I'm pretty sure she feel the same way.
If Deshaun Watson wasn't hurt, we would have won. I don't care what nobody say. The Texans wouldn't have won.
Kareem Hunt had a good game too. He had 2 touchdowns. But yeah, I feel the same way. If Deshaun Watson would have played, that is way more versatility with him than with Flacco. Don't get me wrong, Flacco got an arm on him and can throw the ball. But in terms of how quarterbacks are these days,
in terms of trying to get yardage when yardage is really needed, that's kind of how I was feeling.
Well, that's your opinion. But like I was going to say, a lot of quarterbacks now they can run or throw at will. Exactly. Deshaun Watson. I make this comparison because they just remind me of each other. Deshaun Watson and Jalen Hurts, they both can throw on the run. They both can run the ball when needed to. They both can throw the ball when needed to. Deshaun Watson's deep ball is a little bit better than Jalen's. You got to think. Clemson days with Deshaun, it's a lot of passes that he's thrown that were 20 yards or more down the field. 30 yards more down the field, you know. But if with that versatility in Deshaun Watson, defense wouldn't have been able to keep up because you run one formation, you don't know if it's a play action, you don't know if it's a run or a pass. You know, you mix in RPOs and stuff like that. That gives the defense, you know, how if we stop the deep pass to Amari Cooper, they gonna throw it underneath to Njoku. They gonna run the ball with Kareem Hunt. They gonna run the ball with Deshaun Watson. You bring the defense up towards the box. It's a deep pass to Njoku. It's a deep pass to Amari Cooper. So it's, you know, it go hand in hand. You can't with quarterbacks like that and with players like that. You gotta have an all around type of feel for it. You can't just run one. You can't give a certain look on defense and expect to get the same result each time because they're gonna switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, C.J. Stroud, the rookie.
I got to give him his props. I can't even lie. I got to give him his props. He put his foot on the gas and he kept it moving. For being a rookie, he probably had a really good game. Arguably, this was his first playoff.
His first playoff game.
And he's the youngest in history. Rookie. He's the youngest in history for the NFL.
The rookie quarterback came in and put up 45.
I got to give it to him. He put his foot on the gas. He put, you know.
Well, I want to say 45. 2 of those touchdowns went to
the defense.
No, one of those touchdowns went to the defense. It was 1 pick six, I believe, or was it 2? No, it was 1 pick six and 1 regular pick. But yeah, so he put up 30. He put up 30 of those. He put up 30 plus of those points. Mm-hmm. Had a fantastic game. When I saw a couple clips when pressure was brought to him. That ball was out of his hands before pressure got home.
Mm-hmm. He handled it really well.
Defensive line didn't show up. Offense showed up in the first half. And that's you know, if you go back and look at the Browns with the 11-6 record, a lot of the games they had control of. Mm-hmm. They worked the clock. They scored when needed to. They basically was in control most games. But yeah, C.J. Stroud. Matter of fact, one game where the Browns and Texans did meet, C.J. Stroud didn't play. A lot of people I saw on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even if C.J. Stroud does play, it's not going to be the same type of game. It's not going to be a different game. Browns still going to win. I saw that, and I believe him, if he saw some of those too, it probably fueled his fire to get the win and motivated him. Plus, this is a Texans team that was counted out at one point, you know, so that gave them all the reason to prove everybody wrong. Which is what every team that has played in these playoffs have done. Moving on to the game that happened Saturday night. The Dolphins and Chiefs. The Dolphins is the fastest scoring offense in the NFL, but only scored one time. Same as with the Browns. The Browns had the number 1 defense, but
didn't show up all night.
But got 30 plus put on them by a rookie quarterback, and it goes to show you what the playoffs will make teams do. Mm-hmm. They will force you to just lay down and just take the butt whipping. That's what we saw the Texans do to the Browns. That's what we saw the Chiefs do to the Dolphins. The Dolphins had no chance. And I told people this in the beginning. Because, Mahomes, Kelsey, the whole team was just all over the place. You know, people was like, they might not make it into the playoffs. Or if they do, they one and done. Or so on and so forth. But what y'all can't do is count Patrick Mahomes out.
You learned this time after time.
Even though he just snuck his way into the play, well, he didn't sneak his way into the playoffs. But even though he got into the playoffs, the regular season Mahomes we saw was not the regular season Mahomes we saw. That was the playoff team the Chiefs always had. Just because a couple players ain't there, just because a couple players injured or whatever the case may be, Andy Reid makes sure that them players that's next up, he makes sure them players is ready to go. Not only that, he used Isaiah Pacheco and he used Edwards-Helaire. He used both of his running backs to the advantage to gash the defense of the Dolphins. And Mahomes threw for 250 plus yards. Is surreal? Not surreal. Is not even crazy. You can't even say this performance was crazy by Mahomes and the Chiefs, because every time the playoffs come around, the Chiefs show up. The Chiefs gonna show up in the playoffs. They might have just, hey, we got into the playoffs. We got into the playoffs. Let's just coast through the rest of the season. But once the playoffs came, we saw what they were able to do. They put up 26 points, and the defense stopped Tua Tagovailoa, stopped Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle. They stopped every aspect of their offense. Got stopped. Raheem Mostert couldn't run. Backup running back couldn't run. Couldn't nothing get done for them. They had no choice but to just, hey, y'all got it. Y'all got it. For sure. Moving on, we got. Let me see. Anything you want to add to the Dolphins game before we move on?
Tappage. Tappage. Because my thing is like what you said, the Dolphins, they are one of the fastest scoring teams.
The fastest.
The fastest?
Number one.
Number one. Oh, well, jeez, I didn't know.
When you got a Tyreek Hill and a Jalen Waddle that can get past a defender in an instant, and you just toss it up with Tagovailoa's throw power, hey, you can score pretty quickly. Yeah. You can score pretty quickly.
For like Kansas City to come in and shut all of that down, take all the momentum away from them. Wasn't Miami home?
Chiefs was.
Chiefs? Oh, well.
It was -8 degrees when that game started.
Dang. Anyways.
But it felt like -28 because the wind was blowing.
Yeah. It was cold. Anyways.
And the temperature kept going down as the game went on.
Yeah. Anyways, for the fastest team to score in this season, to get shut down and have all the momentum taken away from them, it really shows you how much it plays a factor in it with, with being able to score and having that momentum.
And plus, I'm gonna throw this in there too. I forgot to mention this. Every time the Dolphins have had a big game, they have not showed up. When they played the Eagles, didn't show up. Everybody saw it on TV, on Peacock, when they played the Chiefs, they didn't show up. Every big game that the Dolphins had that they needed, they had control of the AFC. They was number one. But when them big games came up, nowhere to be found. And I know people gonna say the Eagles was the same way. We was 10-1, yeah, number one in the NFL with the record. That gauntlet started. We won 5 out of the 8 games. We lost to the Seahawks, Cowboys, and we lost to the 49ers. But we also beat the Cowboys during that gauntlet. So a 1-1, and then seeing the Cowboys get thrashed Sunday night. Come on, like, is what it is by a quarterback whose first playoff game, and he went out there and just scored on every drive they had, is insane. And that's the same thing I think about the Eagles. When we hit 10-1 and they said we clinched the playoffs, after that it was more like, all right, we already in the playoffs. Let's just coast, BS around, and we already here. That's what I feel like just happened. Same with the Chiefs. They was like, all right, we already here. We could coast through. Same as with the Eagles. We here. Let's coast on through. But moving on, this game got everybody. It got Cowboys fans mad and other fans laughed. I know I laughed last night. I laughed a lot. Like, I laughed.
Yeah, I bet.
My stomach was hurting from how much I was laughing.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers and the Cowboys. Cowboys coming into this game with 16-0 at home. 8 games this year, 8 games last year. Never lost a game in the last 2 years at home. Have the Packers come in and put up 41 points in 3 quarters. 41. Dak threw 2 interceptions. Those 3 touchdowns he threw, one of them got him on the board in the first half. Them other 2 that he threw, which was in the fourth quarter, those were pity touchdowns. I'm sitting here saying that now. Those was pity touchdowns because where was that
the whole game?
Where was that the whole game? Where that didn't show up in the second quarter, first quarter, or third. Even the first half of the fourth quarter, that wasn't shown. That was not shown. Aaron Jones had 3 touchdowns, 118 yards. Dobbs, 151 yards in the touchdown. He had 151 yards in 6 receptions. He only caught the ball 6 times. The Cowboys defense, I'm not going to hold you. The offensive line for the Packers did what they needed to do to beat them. You take Micah Parsons out of the equation during a defensive play, it opens up so much more because your quarterback is not under constant pressure. Now, I know what y'all might be saying. Well, you got DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side. Yeah, D-Law on the other side. But Michael Parsons is a movable player. He play linebacker. But he lines up on the line too. He can do both. And he can do it inside too at D tackle. You put Michael Parsons on the edge, he's way faster than D-Law coming off that edge. That's where the defensive pressure comes home at from his side. And then you got DeMarcus, you got D-Law who bring the power in and can also, get home too. But when you double team Michael Parsons and take him out of the equation, there you have it right there. That's the recipe. You take him out of the equation and force that defense to actually play without relying on him. I think they only pressured Jordan Love maybe like 4 or 5 times. But he never got sacked. He got pressured and threw the ball. And each one of those throws were completed. 2 of them was touchdowns. 2 of them was 40-plus yard touchdowns. I don't know how the Packers developed him. Like he did a couple years under A-Rod, so maybe learning from A-Rod, he took a couple shots too when throwing them. But he got right back up, kept on playing. They were beating the Cowboys so bad. The Cowboys had all their starters in while the backups was in for the Packers. You had Jordan Love over there, helmet on his head with his jacket on, hand in his hand warmer, chilling, talking and stuff. Cowboy went down there and scored. They was like, all right, let's suit back up. Went out there and scored a touchdown to put them at 48. And then they went back and was like, we chilling again. They ain't gonna stop us. If we wanted to, we could put up 60. Might even be 100. That's how they was out there feeling. Sure, I'm pretty sure with that type of defense the Cowboy played, I could have put up 100. But yeah, I I don't know. I don't know what to say for the Cowboys though. From just a football fan, generally speaking though, I don't know what else you can do for a Cowboys fan or for a Cowboys organization. Whether it be the owner, whether it be the coach, quarterback, players, whoever. But this is a reoccurring thing. I don't know. I don't know what to tell them.
I don't got much to say. They got tapped the whole game.
They did. They did. They for sure did. Like,
Y'all can say what y'all want about my team, but just know we ain't have all our starters. Our starting QB name.
not even gonna hold you.
What game we gonna talk about next?
But I'm glad. What's crazy, I needed the Packers to win. Only because the Packers is the 7th seed and they have to go play
Kansas City, right?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
And with how the Eagles been playing lately, depending on the night, if the Eagles come out and play Eagles football like I know they have before, then I would have no problem with, oh dang, we could have went to San Francisco this week. But the way we've been playing, closing out the season,
you got doubts.
We not informed to play them again.
Just say you got your doubts.
Considering that we lost to them severely bad the first time we saw them this season. Plus AJ Brown out. So, I'd rather see them in the NFC Championship game with our players healthy. Reed Blankenship out too. Our safety. Our leading tackling safety at that. He out. So I'd rather have our people come back healthy and we play football with them and play a good game with them.
Better team win pretty much.
Yeah. Now, if Jalen Hurts don't show up like how Patrick Mahomes don't show up, I have no doubts no more. If they come out and play football like I know they can play football, I have no more doubts. That's if that's shown. But if they come out, everything's sloppy and stuff, then, I won't even be mad if we lose. Because it'll be, you know what I'm saying?
Quit the lie. You'll be mad.
No, I'm saying though. Because of how we've been playing. If we come out the coaching, the players ain't doing, you know what I'm saying? Players ain't, Because if we run, okay, think about it like this. Mm-hmm. You run a screen pass or a QB draw on first down. What do you have to lose from that?
A lot.
You can lose yards, but then you still got second and third down to work with.
Mm-hmm.
But see, if you run a QB draw in the screen on third down, what do you lose from that? You lose your down and your yards, and then guess what's the next down? Fourth down. You gotta punt, cause you going for it on fourth and however long, and you don't get it. You giving the offense the ball in your territory. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I'm saying. But we come out play how we need to. Then I have no doubts for it. Mm-hmm. We playing the Buccaneers again. This the second time we seeing them this season.
Did y'all win against them the first?
The first time, yeah, we won. It was a close game, very close game. They played their hardest. I think it came down to the last play. Matter of fact, I think that's what happened. Baker Mayfield threw it to He threw it to Mike Evans, and Mike Evans dropped it in the back of the end zone. I think that's what happened. I think
that'd be a crazy way. I
think that's what happened. He threw it to him, and in the back of the end zone, it was just a little bit above his hands, and he couldn't come down with it.
I don't even know. I'd had so many emotions going through my head at once.
Moving on though. The best playoff game of the playoffs, because everybody else got thrashed and tapped around. The Rams and the Lions. This game, I watched the whole game because I was on edge. I was on edge.
It was back and forth. It was a shootout.
It was a shootout of a game. Matt Stafford came out. The 3 points messed them up in the first quarter. I'm not gonna lie. They let the Lions go up 14. They let the Lions go up 14-3. I was like, dang, this might be another playoff blowout for the weekend. Just for Matt Stafford to come out in the second quarter, score and lead his offense down to score 2 touchdowns. Damn. It was crazy. He threw those 2 touchdowns. Him and Jared Goff were literally having a shootout with each other.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. 24-23 compared to 41 to like 16 in the second half, compared to 26-7, 45-14. Like, compared to that, it was a good game. Both teams came to play. We saw Puka Nacua go crazy. He had 181 yards. Like, and for his first playoff game, he did what he was supposed to do. In every facet of the game, I'm going to say this. Even though the Lions won, Matthew Stafford outplayed Jared Goff. Puka Nacua outplayed every receiver on the Rams offense. The only thing that messed up the Rams in that last possession, 2 of those passes went to Cooper Kupp, and that's what messed them up. Because everybody know in the clutch, let's go to Cooper Kupp. He won us the Super Bowl. Him and Matthew Stafford are, they wavelength on the same, they on the same page with everything. But see, teams pick up on that. So if you get down in a 4-down situation, 4th and 3, they going to Cooper Kupp. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they is. But you switch it up, throw it to the tight end, throw it to the running back on the other side, on the back side. Throw it to Puka Nacua. Me personally, I would have threw it to Puka Nacua because he was having a monster game. A lot of those passes that he caught were injury prone passes. Like a lot of them passes he caught, if he would have caught in the 2010s when Ray Lewis played, those passes would have got him messed up. But how Puka Nacua plays, he know he's gonna get hit, but it don't stop him from bringing the ball down. Like, he know he gonna take a shot. Cool. But yeah, this game was good. Jared Goff got the Lions their first win in over 30 years.
And I'm just say both teams they came to play. You can obviously tell that, especially with a 1-point difference of 24-23. Both teams came to play, and at the end of the day, it was it was kind of like small mistakes that kind of cost them the game, but also, the better team won.
Oh no, for sure, because I believe 3 times the Rams went down into the Lions territory, inside the goal line, and just completely folded. That was in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. And the first quarter went down, got into territory, but just couldn't capitalize to score a touchdown. You got penalties cost them points too, stuff like that. Yeah, but the Lions got their first win in over 30 years in the playoffs. They haven't been to the playoffs since before I was born. You know what I'm saying? Love him or hate him though, Matthew Stafford is a dog, and he showed that he got that dog in him once again. The amount of hits he took at Ford Field last night, and in his career showed how tough he is as a player and how much love he has for the teams that he played for. Like you go back some years ago, you'll see when his shoulder, I think he tore something in his shoulder or something, broke his arm or something. It was something like that, but he got up from that, went back out there and threw a touchdown pass to win the game. Like if that's not
love for the game,
if that's not dedicated to your team, I don't know what is. Last night we saw his hand was already wrapped up and stuff. He took a shot to his hand that cut it, wrapped it up, went back out there, threw a touchdown. Went down a couple more times. He had to, you know what I'm saying? He had to go into the medical tent. Stuff like that. Still came out and performed how he was supposed to. Hell of a game from him. And we're going to talk about the game that just wrapped up, which is the Steelers and the Bills. Now this game was another good game.
Somewhat respectable.
It was 31-17, 14 points.
2 touchdowns.
A lot of people, everybody kind of knew this. Without T.J. Watt on the defensive side, that opens up a lot, which we saw. James Cook ran for 79 yards. You know, it's just when you don't have your linebacker rushing off the edge, who's good at what he does, and he's out there that does something. The morality of the team is in a different way, especially after the first couple touchdowns get scored, and it's like, hold on, this wouldn't be happening if what's name was here and in place, because backup. The backup might be good, but he not as good as T.J. Watt. Like, he doing his job, he just not as fast as T.J. Watt, as strong as T.J. Watt, whatever the case may be. Better technique than T.J. Watt, who knows? But what cost the Steelers was penalties. Penalties cost them. Time management cost them. Because on that last drive, they had 2 minutes, they had like a minute and 50-something seconds to work with. Mm-hmm. They were throwing short passes, running the ball, not getting out of bounds, and they had one timeout. Half of that time could have got saved if they would have got out of bounds and took a couple more shots. They decided to take a deep shot.
The last few seconds.
It was like 14 seconds up. They decided to take a shot then. You know, it was a couple calls that should have been called against the Bills, but I don't think that would have changed the outcome of the game. When it was 24-17, George Pickens had he wanted a pass interference call because of a hip grab, but the way the ball was placed, me personally, I still believe even if that little hip grab didn't happen, the ball still wouldn't have got caught.
It was too far over.
Yeah. Now, as you may be, you entitled to your opinion. If you feel like you would have caught it, hey, that's fine. But that's just how I feel from, a fan perspective and from a former player perspective. And it wasn't a guaranteed catch, because we saw CeeDee Lamb last night, who's led the league all year long in catching the ball and yards and stuff like that, drop more passes than he caught. He dropped more passes than he caught, and that's from the number one in the league. So it wasn't a guarantee that Pickens would have caught the ball. You saw the frustration on his face. So of course, dropping a pass and then seeing something was supposed to be a call, but it didn't. But even then, that call didn't define the game, because if you capitalize early on opportunities, you won't have to worry about calls like that later on in the game and complaining about it. Simple as that. How you feel about it?
For the Bills and the Steelers, in all honesty, it was a kind of respectable game compared to what happened to the Browns, but it was kind of respectable. In all honesty, both teams, they came to play, but at the end of the day, the Bills was just better.
Josh Allen got outplayed by Mason Rudolph. Like, the plays that what's crazy is, I was telling her this, and I told my cousin this too. Josh Allen done been here before. He done been in the playoffs and stuff like that. So he knows what to expect of it. Same with Stephon Diggs. They know what to expect from it. And with how Josh Allen played and how Stephon Diggs played, they have the ability to take control of a game. Especially Josh Allen has the ability to take control of a game and work it in his favor. We saw it all year long when they showed up to play, or when they played from behind and won. He has the ability to rally his team together, get a win, and take over the game in a good fashion. A lot of these teams that's in the playoffs, they've showed up to play, they've not showed up to play. But in the playoffs, it's the best time to show up as a team and as a player, as a coach, whatever the case may be. It's the best time to show up and play. Because your season on the line, and the Super Bowl is at stake. You know what I'm saying? You want to make it to the next round. Make it to, you know what I'm saying? You want to make it to that next round. Live to fight another day. A lot of these teams just didn't show up when they needed to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the
Eagles.
The Eagles playing now. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here and watch the Eagles game. We'll throw the Eagles talk onto next week's video, but it won't be that much of a talk considering it's only one game. But yeah, that'll be it for this video though. Any last words for him?
No.
Alright, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, link to the Twitch down in the description. Link to the Discord down in the description. Y'all join, share the video, share the Twitch, share the Discord and stuff like that. And yeah, y'all also, every Friday is a stream. It's a stream from 8 to 12, 4 hours. Sometimes we go over 4 hours because the stream starts a little later than what it is, but we make sure that we get the 4 hours in, no matter what. But yeah, appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we finna peace out. Y'all be easy. Peace.